yeah, this is. Good God, this is this is even different. This is even, but basically it's the same sort of thing. Snaps on. Now, you can imagine if you're closing the gun and you're cocking the ejectors, and you had a Forend like this, the pressure, pressure of compressing the ejector springs would over. Christ, I can't get it to close now. Here we go. It would cause the Forend to fly off and get lost. So you won't find them on ejector guns very much. Oh, this is what these old hammer guns. When I was a kid, there were still lots of these around in England. Do you know these were made for about and sold for 25 shillings between the two world wars and before the First World War. And I mean, the Belgians had all the cheap gun trade like that the Spanish guns have got now. And they were junk, believe you me. Terrible. But anyway, now you'll see all kinds of versions of that hackett catch. Another version you will come across is one with it'll have like a piece like that on the Forend iron, and it'll have a roller in the end. It'll have a roller in the end. Now the same thing. What happens? The roller runs down our inclined surface, and there's a round area cut out, and it's like that. The roller goes into there. Same sort of thing. It's still a hackett catch, but you'll see now what you won't come across very much. You'll see it on a lot of cheap English Birmingham-made hammer guns. It's called a sugar tongue spring clip. Now what with that one is this is the underside of the Forend iron, shall we say. That's the end of the Forend iron. Now they'll have there's a slot in the Forend with a card that goes over the loop. Now these ones had a little thing shaped like this. It had a little prong there, came down like that, and there's a big screw holding them there. And they used to clip. You're looking at the loop. The front end of the loop was like this, and this was a spring, and it used to clip. Used to run down there and run down there when you push the Forend on, and clip into these two little depressions that was cut in the loop. And because it was shaped like a pair of old-fashioned sugar tongues that you used to have years ago to pick up sugar cubes, that kind of thing, they called it a sugar tongue clip spring. And you'll find that in some very old English hammer guns, cheaper ones. But nobody knows what it's called, but that's what it's called, a sugar tongue spring clip. And if I hadn't have known them old guys that I knew when I was a little kid, I wouldn't have known that myself. So it's worth remembering. And as I say, if you get a customer come along to your workshop, and you know you look at his gun and you say, and you take the Forend wood off the Forend and you say, good God, it's got a sugar tongue clip spring in there. And the guy thinks, God, that no fella knows his stuff. It's the same with the Forend catches. If a guy comes along and he said, oh, it's got a dealy edge catch. And the guy goes, what? A dealy edge catch, sir? And he's mystified. He thinks you're a clever guy. See, you know your stuff. Right? I mean, even dealers don't know that. I mean, we've got dealers in this country selling guns, and they know diddly squat about them. To a dealer, that's a Forend hanger. It's not the loop. They don't know this stuff, you see. And there they are, dealers, they're making more money out of the gun business than you're making in your lifetime as a gunsmith, you see. And it's all wrong, you see. They shouldn't be selling guns if they don't know nothing about them. That's what I say. But again, that's the way of the world. We have the same thing in England. The dealers over there in England know nothing, and they sell guns. You know, they operate from home or something like that. And they make more money out of the business than the guys in the gun trade who've worked at it all their lives. So, anyway, remembering all these things, you know, it's very useful. Now, another thing too. In this supporting of the purdy with the answer rod, there's a fancy piece in the end, a thing which they call a tip in London. It's shaped like this kind of thing. So, sort of like that. Something like that. Okay, the screw comes from the other side. Now, in London they call it a Forend tip. Now in Birmingham we didn't. We called it a tailpipe. It comes from which is an hangover from the old days of muzzle loaders and you know, and even before that the old flintlocks, where you had tubes underneath the bottom rib, where the ramrod went through. And at the end of the forend, they had a long forend as well, at the end of the forend they had a fancy tip, which was like a pipe anyway. So it was called the tailpipe because it was on the tail of the forend, see? It sounds rather better than calling it a tip. A bit more romantic, you might say, see? And so, you know, we should call it a tailpipe. Right? But anyway, there's another little thing. So you can say, guy might I've got one in at the moment. The guy's lost one. I lost the thing at the end before. Oh, you mean the tailpipe? You know. Oh, is that what it is? You know. But anyway, it all makes it sound good. You know, you're man of mystery, you might say. He knows his stuff. He's a good. And if you know all this, I think you're a good gunsmith, you see. There is one, a forend fastener I missed out, which you'll see on some very old guns, where they have a little flat piece going through the forend like that. There's a little slot in it, and if you look at the forend, where it goes through and comes out that side, there's a little nail in there just that runs in this slot, stopping it drop out. It's just a sliding bar. You'll see it on very old hammer guns, probably even muzzle loaders. Those can be a little pain in the butt to do if you're restocking a forend.